The Battle of Newton happened on August 19, 1779, and took place in Almirah, Waverly, Ashland. The Continental Army had to go through waters and over mountains and so much more just to get to the battlefield in Newton. They were tired and soaking wet, and they still had to battle the next day against a perfect army that had uniforms and so much men and were trained for just that moment. George Washington was the leader of the Continental Army that led his army all the way to battle against the British soldiers that were well prepared. Captain Joseph Brant was the British leader that led all the British to the Battle of Newton in 1779. The main goal of the Battle of Newton was for the Continental Army to beat the British, and they ended up achieving their goal. The two arrows represent the starting and ending point of where the British and the Continental started. The Battle of Newton was a major battle of the Sullivan Expedition, an armed offensive led by General John Sullivan that has ordered the Continental Congress to end the threat of the Iroquois who had sided with the British in the American Revolutionary War. Ordered by General George Washington to harass combined Loyalist and Native American forces in southern New York, John Sullivan soon founded his men in skirmish throughout August and September of 1779. Having gathered 5,000 of his soldiers in Athens, Pennsylvania, General Sullivan and his column marched out of the Fort Sullivan of August 26, 1779, aiming to destroy the towns and supplies of 6 nations settled on the banks of the Sequoia River. While the British Army was resting, George Washington and his men had to get ready and prepared to attack the British and make a surprise attack. The Continental Army was down a lot of men, and the British had so many men that they still had a complete army even when the Continental Armies killed most of the people. But if it wasn't for the Continental Army's spirits and hope and everything, they wouldn't have won the Battle of Newton. The impact over the Battle of Newton overall was a success, and they proved that they can win with barely any men, and also proved that they can win with over a big army that had been trained for a year or so. What I have learned from the Battle of Newton is that even though that you have lost something, you don't have as much as something, and the other team is more than you, doesn't mean that you can't beat them at the team that you are versing. As long as you believe, focus, and you can